Well, another day and another range-bound session for major indices. Hello and welcome. Shraddha and I are here to give you a wrap of all the market action it's been today, and it's for the 18th straight day that where we've seen the Nifty give returns of less than 1%. Shraddha, we really haven't seen too much stand out in today's day of trade either as far as the benchmarks go.
Absolutely, Agam. So we can easily say the Nifty continues to consolidate because after opening about just 2 points higher, the Nifty continued to slide lower through the day. In fact, ended down 17 points, unable to hold at 8,900 because at that levels there's not much valuation comfort, and that was even as European markets gave up early gains, and even as investors await the GDP data for the October to December quarter. But it was telecom and the realty pack which was seeing strength today, and that is even as turnovers continue to remain subdued.
Yes, very quiet day for turnovers as well. You know, when it comes to the futures and options space, at least as far as the addition towards open interest in the futures of Nifty and the Bank Nifty is concerned, there really hasn't been too much. We already know that the Nifty really hasn't given too much of a return either. We've seen the second straight day of falls as far as the Nifty is concerned. Taking a look at the options market, there is only one option that stands out, and that's the 8,800 put. That's where we've seen most amount of accumulation, also a lot of writing there, and that means that, well, that's slowly taking over as the one with the maximum open interest. It hasn't gotten there yet, but when it comes to max OI, well, we're still looking at 8,500 put and the 9,000 call, which gives you a broad range of where you expect the Nifty to move, at least as far as the March series is concerned. On the whole, consolidation continues, and we're really not getting too much, at least from the options market, as far as the direction of the Nifty is concerned.
But one stock which really stood out today is BHEL. So I'm talking about the Nifty movers. BHEL saw a sudden spike in the last 45 minutes or so and rose as much as 7.2%. Hindalco on the other end was also sitting on gains of nearly 2% after getting the green nod for its copper plant expansion. On the other hand, you had Grasim Industries, BPCL and Coal India, which were seeing weakness, down more than 2.5% each. Other oil marketing companies were also seeing weakness along with BPCL, and that is after reports of ONGC acquiring HPCL in a 44,000 crore deal. So that's as far as your index movers are concerned. But mid caps continue to extend gains because the market breadth still remains in favor of gainers.
It certainly is, and that's perhaps encouraging for a lot of bulls. So when it comes to the broader markets, we're looking at an advanced decline ratio of 5:3, but coming to the Nifty 500, that is where you take cues from a lot of mid caps. That's where you're looking at 3 gainers for 2 losers, starting off with Karnataka Bank, which has gained 7%. It's followed by Kaveri Seed Company, up 6.7%. Now a lot of logistics stocks were doing well today. We'll come to Shraddha for that. So you have Snowman Logistics also gaining 6.6%. Century Plyboards, Suntech Realty, as well as Reliance Communication, all gaining anywhere between 5.7 to 6%. Let's take a look at some of the losers as well. Merck India losing out in trade after a disappointing quarter, down nearly 7%. It's followed by Edelweiss Financial. After moving up 5% yesterday, we're looking at a decline of 4.3% today. Grasim Industries, Mahindra CI Auto, and Radico Khaitan among some of the other losers in today's day of trade. But there are 2 packs which have stood out in the broader market. So one is the logistics pack and the other is the future group.
Absolutely, Agam. So Morgan Stanley initiated coverage on future retail with an overweight rating and a target price of 340, and on the back of that you saw all your future group stocks rallying. So future retail, future consumer, future lifestyle fashions, future enterprises, all of these were trading anywhere between 1 to 5% higher. Logistics companies also gain anywhere between 0.5% to 8% after Economic Affairs Secretary Shaktikanta Das said that all the states have agreed to July 1st rollout as far as the much awaited GST is concerned. So those 2 pack or stocks really stood out today as far as mid caps are concerned.
Right, but we're keeping an eye on a bunch of factors going in post-market hours.
Absolutely. So today you'll have the October to December quarter GDP numbers that will be out, of course, which will be important in the light of government's note ban. So this is going to be like the first set of data as far as the impact on growth is concerned. Right. So that's one thing which the markets are going to be keeping an eye out for. So that's domestic news, and you also have Donald Trump's address to the Congress today, where the markets will be watching out for any policy specifics again, and that could have some bearing on the Asian indices and the opening trades tomorrow. So two major cues, domestic as well as international, to keep an eye out for. But with that, we end today's session. It's a wrap, and thank you so much for watching Bloomberg.